Hi guys, I'm going to get back on this seat pan for the Kawasaki Bighorn. The pan is done, and today I'm going to start the build up to put the seat cover on. So this hopefully will be the last installment. But anyway, it'll show. We've showed that you can make the seat pan, and now we're going to install the foam and trim the foam and put the cover on. Hopefully that's what we're trying for anyway. So okay, let's get to it here. This is what we ended up with, and what I did was I used some automotive seam sealer and sealed all the welds, and I've already installed welting. I think that's what they call it. It's a it's a plastic material that goes on the edge here. Maybe it's called edging. I don't know. And that's to keep the seat cover from tearing on that edge. So that's done. I've got the rubber bumpers installed and the perches on the back. That's everything that I think you didn't see. So today you can see I've got the foam laying here. I've got an electric knife to cut the foam. Usually that works pretty good. Uh, Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on how sharp it is, I guess. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer this uh, to a point to where we have to start shaping it with a sander. The original seat is here. This is what's left of it. Not very much. It's pretty fragile. I just saved it so I could get a basic shape and contour of it. But really, what we've got to do is we've got to take the foam and start layering it higher than we normally would so that we can shape it down. So that's cutting out the foam is the next step. Okay, as you've seen here, I've just traced an outline around the pan a couple times there. We'll use at least this much. Um, we may need to add a little bit more. We'll just see. And at this point, it's just basically like straight up and down on here. So the inside here, where it's actually going to lay, is narrower than what I've drawn out here. But that's what you want. You want more foam so you can shape it. Now I'm going to see if this is going to cut. And sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Doesn't look like today it's wanting to. Okay, I'm trying something on my electric knife. I'm putting water on it. That seems to really help. I'm just going to get these two cut off here so I can eliminate some of the bulkiness here. All I'm doing is I'm spraying some water on the blades. It seems to be helpful to keep it from kind of sticking. I really don't need this paper up here until I start gluing, but that's coming pretty quick, so I'll try to work around it. But I hadn't tried that before, and that seems to work very good. Just give you a spray bottle of water handy, and seems to work better. Okay, the next thing you need to do is try to cut out a little bit in the bottom here, just for these things that raise up. And it's more than anything, it's just so that it will adhere better around those items. So that's what I'm up to now, and this is messy. There's no way getting around it. It is messy. And the thing I find best to work with is like a 36 or a 24 grit disc on one of these little 2-inch sanders. It really makes fast work of it. Yeah, hang on to it though. See what we're working toward here, just so that when we glue this down, that it is more apt to stick around it. If you don't, I'm afraid it's going to stick up. I'm not a professional at this, but that's just my take on it. Looks like I've got to do a little bit more on this piece here. Okay, we've kind of got our indentions. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something to relieve some of the pressure around those items. You're still going to apply the glue, you're still going to push down on it. And the one thing about the glue is that it's contact cement, which means that you've got to spray it on both sides so that it will adhere to each other. And this also gets messy. I wouldn't want to do this for a living. That thing's spraying all over the place. You want to get a good coat. Are you seeing that? I think you are. Down in your indentions too. just let that tack up just a little bit. And then we're going to place it. Maybe easier said than done. Okay. Looks like I made it a little bigger than I needed to. It's better than not having enough. Okay, so you can see it's starting to adhere there. Got to get into those little stair step areas. Okay, we'll just hold the pressure on this for a little while. Okay, now we're back for our second coat here, or our second piece, and it's exactly the same. We're going to spray the back side of this one. And then the top side of this one. Got blue there. All right. Now we're just going to wait on that to dry good. Once everything's dry, then it's time to start trimming. You want to try to stay pretty straight up and down if you can. And that water trick sure seems to work good, but I'm starting to get a little glue on my knife now too. So this is kind of what you're after, and then any other uh, shaping, looks like I got a little bit right here, we're going to do with the little sanding disc. So there we go. It's pretty close. Let me get the original one out here and we'll take a peek at it. So as you can see, we're probably more than we need in this area, but about right in the back. No, it's a little too much back there too. It's going to need trimmed off everywhere, but particularly we'll start around the top here, and we'll try to form that to match what you see here. Okay, after a few minutes of shaping, this is what we've come up with. And at this point, I'm going to try the cover on it. See what it looks like. See what it needs. It's not looking too bad. I think we're still going to have to take a little off. You do want this so that you have to stretch it though to get it underneath. So you want it down past here. That all needs to go underneath. See, I can stretch one side, but I doubt if I could stretch the other. So I'm no pro at this. I'm sure there's a lot of you folks out there that's done this, or probably some people out there that do it for a living that are just saying, what in the world's he doing? But I think it's looking pretty close. I'm going to work at it a little bit more, and we'll see if we can get it stretched under there. All right, we're giving her a shot here. We get it through our, let's see, can you see that? Get you down a little closer. So I'm pulling it down to the edge here so that the perforated looking area is all underneath the seat, and I slip it through the teeth and then fold the teeth over. far it's looking pretty good. Pretty good for a amateur. Alright, let me continue on here. Alright, there we go. Got a little tear right here where I pulled too hard. I'm going to put some liquid fabric or something on that. Keep it from going any further. It's just the seat covers just aren't what they used to be. But there we go. It's been a long time in the making, but we've got our Bighorn seat. Okay guys, I think I got her done. The seat cover is looking pretty good, I think. It ain't perfect, but I'm going to let you decide. I did tap it and put a bolt here for the strap. Don't think I really need it, but I'll have to get a strap or make one. But I did mount a bolt there for it. This one was broken. I've got the other half. Everything looks as it should. Dog's ready to eat, I think. Okay. Hey, that kind of completes the Kawasaki Bighorn seat recover. It's totally from scratch except for the cover itself. So if you've got some time, you've got a welder, you've got some tin snips, you've got a couple boards and some clamps where you can put it in to make those bends, some glue, and a seat cover and foam. The foam I just got off of Amazon. I think it's 2-inch stuff. So I put 2 layers on it, and really it was just about right. So after you get it trimmed down and everything, you just push down on the seat while you're pulling up the cover, and it goes on pretty good. So hey man, you should do it. Make your own. You can do it. I know you can, because I had never did it before. I have recovered them. I have repaired seat pans, but I've never made one by myself. So now I have, and you can too. Hey, thanks for going along on the ride. See you next video.